All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's live. Good evening, Blandy. Let me just post a reminder for certain students. All right, awesome. So, this evening, we're going to be going over three very important prepositions in the English language. And those prepositions are in, on, and at. So, the first thing I'd like to do is to just review quickly when we use those prepositions. And then, as usual, I will give you some practice to test your knowledge of what you just learned. All right. So, on the board, you see that we use in when we're talking about specific parts of the day. For example, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, we use in. We also use in when we're talking about specific months or seasons. So, for example, I have an interview in December, right? Or in the winter, it's cold in Canada. We also use in when we're talking about centuries, and a century is 100 years. Okay, so in the 19th century, this is what happened. In the 20th century, in the 18th century, etc. We use in also when we're talking about cities and countries. For example, she is in Portland, Oregon at the moment. Or my brother is in Colombia, he's on vacation. Okay. We use on with holidays that contain the word day. Okay, let me adjust this slightly so you can see me. Okay, we use on with holidays that contain the word day. So, for example, on Christmas Day, this is what my family usually does. On Thanksgiving Day, this is what we're going to do. That's a holiday that includes the word day. So we use on in that case. We also use on for the days of the week. So on Monday, this is what I'm going to do. On Tuesday, this is what I have to do. On Wednesday, I have a class at 5 p.m. Okay. We also use on for specific dates, like on September 30th, there will be a party. On December 6th, there will be a celebration. That is a specific date. And finally, we use on for streets. So, for example, she lives on Pennsylvania Avenue. He lives on Caribbean Road, right? We use on for holidays with day, days of the week, days of the month, dates, and for streets. And finally, we use at with the time. So I have a class at 9 o'clock. She has a class at 4 o'clock. We also use at when we're talking about precise times, right? How can I think of an example with that? I think it's all combined because if you have an interview at 9 o'clock, that is a precise time. Another example would be at midnight, for example. Okay, at midnight, the clock changes and blah, blah, blah. That is a precise time. So, in specific parts of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, etc., months, in November, in December, in January, seasons, in summer, in winter, in spring, centuries, in the 19th century, in the 20th century, city, I am in West Palm Beach right now. Countries, I am in the United States of America right now. On, we use with holidays that include the word day. We also use on with days of the week, right? On Tuesday, on Monday. Specific days of the month, we use on with dates, specific dates. I have to go to the doctor on November 10th. Okay. And when you're talking about the street you live on, you also say, I live on Jog Road. She lives on Spare Tree Road, for example. And then we use at when we're talking about time or a precise time, which is different from a specific part of the day, like in the morning, in the afternoon. When you're talking about a specific time of the day, like midnight, which is 12 o'clock, then you would use at midnight, at midday, etc. Okay. So now that we've discussed all three prepositions, I'm going to give you some practice. Good evening, everyone. All right. So I'm going to read a sentence to you, and I'm going to ask you guys to. She lives. So at the chart and put your answer in the chat. Does she live in Atlanta, on Atlanta, or at Atlanta? What is the answer? Good evening, Maria. All right. So I see on N. This is not Spanish. This is ESL, English as a second language. A Spanish class is coming up next. All right. All right. Good evening, Stevenson. Welcome. All right. So yes, I see the correct answer. She lives in Atlanta. Okay. Atlanta is a city. So we say in Atlanta. All right. Number 2 says, my birthday is blank January. My birthday is blank January. All right, so Kadudus put an example sentence. I'm living in Miami. That's correct. What would you put for my birthday is blank January? Would it be on, in, or at? All right. So, Kadalu, we're not using a specific date in November. That's different, right? If we're just saying January or November, then that's non-specific. Okay? So we would need to say my birthday is in January. But if we're talking about the specific date now, like what you put there, November 11th, then you would say my birthday is on November 11th. But generally speaking, my birthday is in January, my birthday is in March, etc. Okay. All right, very good. My birthday is in January. Number 3, I have an exam on, in, or at Monday. What would you select? In, on, or at? I have an exam in, on, at Monday. Okay, very good. I have an exam on Monday. That's a day of the week. And so we would choose this middle category right here. I have an exam on Monday. And that Monday would need to have a capital M because in English we capitalize the days of the week. I have an exam on Monday. Very good. The next question says the meeting is blank 5 p.m. Would it be in, on, or at? The meeting is blank 5 p.m. In, on, or at? All right, so I see a couple of people putting at, some people are putting on. So the meeting is at 5 p.m. Okay, and that is a precise time. So that's the reason we say at 5 p.m. It's an exact time, right? You're not like giving an approximation, like, oh, it's in the morning. I'm not sure when, but it's in the morning. No, this is specific. The meeting is at 5 p.m. That is a precise time, okay? All right. Number 5, my dad lives blank Washington Avenue. My dad lives blank Washington Avenue. Does my dad live on, in, or at Washington Avenue? Anybody? My dad lives blank Washington Avenue. All right, so one person has said on Washington Avenue, and I see another on. Anybody else? Hi, Martine. Oh boy. All right, very good. So my dad lives on Washington Avenue. Okay. Washington Avenue is a street, so we say on. All right, that is the simple rule. So wherever you live, Jog Road, Lake Worth Road, I live on Jog Road. I live on Lake Worth Road. So yes, my dad lives on Washington Avenue. Okay. Number 6. Blank the summer. It's very hot. Is it at the summer, in the summer, or on the summer? Blank the summer, it is very hot. What is the answer? Okay. Blandy said in. Do you all agree with her? All right. Jean Andre says in as well. Maria says in. Very good. In the summer, right? This is a season. The summer is a season of the year. Summer, winter, fall, and spring. At least we say fall in America, right? So in the summer, it is usually very hot. Okay. Hello, Carvins. Thank you for joining. All right. Number 7 says blank Thanksgiving Day. Families usually prepare lots of turkey. Blank Thanksgiving Day. Families usually prepare lots of turkey. Is it in Thanksgiving Day, on Thanksgiving Day, or at Thanksgiving Day? All right, I see a lot of people saying on, on. Okay, very good. On Thanksgiving Day, families usually prepare lots of turkey or a lot of turkey, okay? And that's because Thanksgiving Day is a holiday with the word day. So the same thing would happen for Christmas Day, on Labor Day, on Independence Day. Whatever holiday includes the word day, then we're going to say on Thanksgiving Day. So the sentences we've had so far are she lives in Atlanta. My birthday is in January. I have an exam on Monday. The meeting is at 5 p.m. My dad lives on Washington Avenue. In the summer, it's very hot. And on Thanksgiving Day, families usually prepare lots of turkey. And please know that for these holidays with day, they should have capital letters. Thanksgiving Day, capital T, capital D. Christmas Day, capital D, right? In English are a little bit different from what a lot of you are used to in your languages. We capitalize a lot more, all right? So now it's your time to write some sentences using one of the 3 prepositions. Let's start with in. Please go ahead and put some sentences in the chat using the preposition in. And please make them complete sentences because we need to practice constructing complete sentences, and it helps us with our speech as well, because if we can write properly, then we can transfer that to our speaking. Okay, so go ahead and construct some sentences using the preposition in. Good evening, Wilna. Thanks for joining. And don't be afraid if you don't get it right. Nobody's here to judge you or, you know, criticize you. This is a learning experience. Okay. So please put your sentences using in the chat. Come on. Don't be shy. All right. So Maria says, my birthday is in March. Good. Period after March. That's a complete sentence. Very good. My birthday is in March. March is a month of the year. And we're not saying like on the 3rd of March. We're not saying anything specific. We're just saying the month. My birthday is in March. His birthday is in September. So we use in. Okay. Do we have any more sentences? All right. Sami says, I am currently living in Ocala, Florida. Okay, very good. So that is a specific city, and therefore in Ocala, Florida is very much correct. And we use a comma to separate Ocala from Florida when we are writing the city and the state together. Do we have any more sentences? All right. So Blandy says, I live in DP. What exactly is DP? All right. But whatever you're writing, it sounds correct. I assume that DP is a place. All right. So, yes, good job. Next, we have a category with on. Please go ahead and construct some sentences using on. And remember, we use on with holidays that contain the word day, the days of the week, the days of the month, specific dates, and street names as well. Good evening, Getchni. Thank you for joining us. Please go ahead and write some sentences using on. Okay, guys, this is your opportunity to take advantage of a free lesson. So go ahead and put it all out there. Okay, that will give you confidence so that when you're speaking to people, you know that you're saying the correct thing. You know that your English is correct. Okay, so yes, Blandy, I live in the Dominican Republic. DR. Oh, that's what you were writing. I see. I see. Just make sure you capitalize the D in Dominican in addition to the Republic. All right. So, yes, that is correct. Thank you, Martine. All right. Any sentences with on? Anybody? All right. So, Maria says on Thanksgiving Day, all right, we say on Thanksgiving Day, I will enjoy dinner with my family. Good. So in English, we put a comma after an introductory phrase like during the week, comma, this is what I plan to do. On Thanksgiving Day, comma, my family and I will have dinner. Okay. And remember to put a capital T for Thanksgiving because holidays are also capitalized in English. But yes, that is correct. Stevenson says the book is on the table. All right. Yes. There's a picture on the wall. I have a meeting on Monday. Very good. And then Blandy says, I like to cook chicken on Sunday. Very good. Okay. So, yes, you guys have gotten the gist of what I'm trying to communicate. We use on in all of those contexts. The last category is at. And we use at, no class on Tuesday. Well, that's not a complete sentence, Mr. Calixte or Miss Calixte. I think, yes, you're a man. Sorry. Yes, that's not a complete sentence. We want complete sentences. So to make it complete, you would have to say, there is no class on Tuesday, or we don't have class on Tuesday. All right. So, yes, please make sure you're including complete sentences in the chat. Go ahead now and um, create sentences using the preposition at. Kervin says, I live in Port St. Lucie. Period, not comma. That's a complete sentence. All right. On this Veterans Day, uppercase letters. All right. So I'm copying the correct way of writing Veterans Day in the chat. Okay. So on this Veterans Day at 1727 Lullaby Terrace. So you seem to have a lot going on there. Curvins, I would separate those two sentences, but the in part is definitely correct. I live in Port St. Lucie, as Port St. Lucie is a city. All right. Maria says, I work every day at 7 a.m. Very good. Remember to put a period at the end of your sentences. I work every day at 7 a.m. All right. And then Stevenson says, I'll meet you at the bus stop. She's waiting at the entrance. Okay, good. Yes, so then we could add to this list the preposition of location, which is what at also functions as, right? So she's at the party, preposition of location. I live at this address. Yes, just like what Curvins was trying to accomplish. So then this list is not altogether complete. We could add that it's used as a preposition of location as well. All right. She's waiting at the entrance. Yes. He is at the exit. Very good. Okay. So what I'd recommend is that you guys find a quiz online that will reinforce your understanding of this topic. As you know, English is not an easy language to learn, but if you put in the work, you can go very far. Okay, so make sure you're doing something every single day. You're watching TV, you're listening to the news, you're reading, because in reading, you see punctuation, you see where people put periods, you see where they put commas, you see where they put exclamation points and all of that, right? Which is very important, especially if you intend on going to college. You will want to know how to punctuate your sentences correctly. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for joining. I have another class at 7:30, a Spanish class. So I'm going to go and make some final preparations for that. I will see you next Sunday at the same place and at the same time. All right. Bye-bye for now.